If it was up to you,
Yeah.
who do you think makes sense for you to fight?
You know who I would love to face?
Who?
Conor.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you think you would beat Ilia Topuria?
I watched this clip.
You seen this?
Oh, yeah,
Top Stories. Grab me the scruff of the chest and slap that little nose off him, yeah? Little ding dong with he is, yeah? I'm fucking Spanish. I'm in my bed, bro, yeah? I'm in my bed at the bare knuckle store and let's see what's what. We're bouncing the yoke on the bare knuckle. You little fool, I'll keg your head in. You little short ass tick or box your jaw in. On sight. I'm in my bed of Spain, yeah? I'm in my bed of Spain, October 12th at the bare knuckle. Store, bro.
Oh my god.
Dude,
I'm in Madrid March 7th at WoW FC. Come, you're more than welcome.
holy shit.
And
Wait.
try to do something.
Oh my
do
God.
Do some. Come in there. I'm not accepting your invitation. I'm inviting you. Come, March 7th at WoW in Madrid Arena. If you want me to send you a specific location, I'm gonna do that.
Conor, opinions on Topuria. Fuck him too. Don't give a fuck about him either. He reminds me of a little retard Artem Lobov. Topuria does, yeah. Two little retards. Holloway too fast. I think Holloway picks him apart if they fight. Why? Holloway has done it. He has that featherweight title. He's had it for a long time. He's now the BMF. I think Topuria for me is a non-champion in my opinion. He might have a strap, but it's a meaningless strap in my opinion as he holds it. I don't see any attraction to it. So what's he? Is he Georgian? Or is he Spanish or what's he? So I don't even know what he is.
So here's what's happening with Conor McGregor right now. The talk about his comeback isn't just casual chatter anymore. There's something different in the air, something you can actually feel. McGregor has shifted into serious preparation mode, training like someone who's got everything to prove. And with all these crazy stories floating around about some massive White House fight card, you can see the notorious one flipping that switch back to full competitor mode. Those lightning fast hands are smashing the pads with serious intent. Those nimble feet are dancing across the canvas. And that fire in his eyes is absolutely blazing. If this really is his route back to center stage, one thing's obvious. McGregor isn't tiptoeing back into this game. He's launching himself straight into it with everything he's got. Here's the thing about someone like Conor McGregor though. Even a tweet that disappears in seconds can shake the entire mixed martial arts community to its core. It's wild how that works. Recently, veteran fighter and sharp-eyed analyst Michael Bisping dissected McGregor's lightning-quick social media moment. In that vanished post, the Dublin native straight up declared he'd been presented with a fight offer, had already hammered out the opponent and conditions, and was just sitting tight for paperwork to get sorted. Then poof, gone without a trace. Bisping, drawing on years of experience, noted this didn't feel like typical promotional theater. His gut told him this was real intel that slipped out too early, and if Bisping's instincts are right, then McGregor's long-awaited Octagon return might be way closer than anybody thinks.
McGregor, according to his recently deleted tweet, he's back, he's coming, he's on.
I'm coming!
What did he say? He said, I have been offered an opponent, and I accept. He said, I've been offered an opponent and I accept, waiting on my contract. Now that tweet recently got deleted as well. One would assume, right, reading between the lines, could be wrong, that he's telling the truth that he got the offer, they've agreed an opponent, and he was very excited, so he tweeted about something, then he was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to say anything yet, or whatever, so he deleted it, okay? And obviously, it's a nice little PR move, it generates some interest for Conor McGregor, and the interest for Conor McGregor, he doesn't need to generate interest, let's be honest, okay? Everyone is still...
So here's a fascinating angle that came to light recently. The UFC wasn't actually the source of all this White House event speculation. Nope, it was McGregor himself, the promotional mastermind, who lit that particular fuse. This analyst made it crystal clear that Michael Chandler, who's been connected to McGregor seemingly forever, is basically off the table now. That whole narrative has reached its expiration date, and apparently even the UFC has moved their attention elsewhere. But this same expert did float some absolutely fascinating alternative options for an event this big. Names like Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz came up specifically because of the incredible legacy and pure storytelling power they'd inject into something this enormous. Just imagine those storylines. Absolutely electric stuff.
Much gonna tune in. There's a lot of people out there going, oh yeah, he's had his best time, you know, he lost his last few and all the rest of it. Bullshit. Bullshit.
This is #1 bullshit.
Conor McGregor's fighting on the White House card. You're all going to tune in. Everyone's going to tune into the White House card anyway. But the question is, who is he going to face? Now, I'm going to throw it out there. Yes, Jorge Masvidal was calling him out recently. I did a video on that. Masvidal came on my podcast, Believe You Me. If you don't watch the Believe You Me podcast, what are you doing with yourself? Call yourself an MMA fan. If you want to watch some good content and have some funny laughs, okay? Tune in, me and Felder. We run a good show. Masvidal came on. He's trying to get that.
Right when these huge names were getting seriously discussed for what could be McGregor's explosive comeback, an unexpected player jumped into the mix and changed everything. Enter Carlos Prates. He fired back at all the growing talk about potentially facing McGregor, though he was upfront about not getting any official word from the UFC yet. Still, he confessed it would be an amazing honor to share the Octagon with someone of McGregor's legendary status. But Prates wasn't shy about questioning how realistic this whole thing actually was. He zeroed in on McGregor's extended time away from MMA, wondering out loud if McGregor would really want to return against such a legitimately dangerous welterweight contender. Then he dropped this bomb without blinking. I would knock him out. Now that's setting expectations.
Yo, what's up everyone? Carlos the Nightmare Prates right here. A lot of you guys have been asking me about the Conor McGregor fight, and I didn't got anything from UFC yet. I'm really happy you guys saying my name. Of course, it would be a huge honor for me to fight against him. I really want the fight gonna bring me the title shot. JDM, Conor McGregor. To be honest, I think that fight is hard to happen, you know, because Conor McGregor is 5 years without any fight, retired of MMA, and after 5 years he wouldn't back to fight against the most entertaining welterweight in the world. Nothing against him, you know, but everybody know, I know, he know I would hurt him bad, I would knock him out. So I don't think it's the right way to make a comeback of the huge superstar like him, you know.
When Henry Cejudo heard about McGregor possibly taking on Carlos Prates at welterweight, he didn't sound remotely sold on it being a wise choice for the Irishman. Right off the bat, he questioned whether McGregor's frame and wingspan would stack up at 170 pounds against someone as tall and technically sound as Prates. Cejudo suggested the physical mismatch alone might create real problems for McGregor. When talking about Prates, Cejudo pulled no punches, labeling him a dangerous entertainer and proven finisher who's currently surfing serious momentum. He then dropped a subtle but powerful hint that this fight might represent a major shift in the sport, essentially a torch-passing moment. Coming from someone with Cejudo's background, that's a pretty heavy statement.
Conor McGregor taking on Carlos Prates?
At 170, this is not a good fight, man. Conor's fucking short, bro, for that weight class. I don't know if he has the reach to really catch a very sophisticated striker in Carlos Prates. I mean, you know what this means? This means, all right, Conor, out you go. Here comes in the SIGs. You know what I'm saying? Here comes in the reincarnation of Carlos Mayorga. You know, Carlos Prates, he's an entertainer. He's a knockout artist. You know, the way that he's been knocking out Jeff Neal, Leon Edwards. I mean, this is, and Conor McGregor just said, hey, and I believe Conor. Conor said, hey, bring it. Pick whoever you guys want, UFC. But We also know that this could be potentially Conor's last fight. And they know that Conor at this point just wants to be a free agent to fight for BKFC. So
See you later, Conor. Go ahead. Despite all these very real concerns being voiced, former champion Kamaru Usman made it clear that you absolutely cannot write off Conor McGregor. Usman understands that McGregor didn't build his massive reputation just through epic trash talk and promotional brilliance. He earned it through legitimate talent that let him deliver on every promise inside that cage, and that demands respect. But Usman, with his keen eye for fight breakdowns, quickly noted that stylistically, this matchup presents an incredibly difficult puzzle for McGregor. He broke down how McGregor would be dealing with serious height and reach disadvantages against a surgical striker like Carlos Prates. And Prates is a sniper, someone who can end fights with devastating kicks, knees, and punches. Basically a guy who can hurt you in ways you don't expect. As Usman put it so bluntly, this isn't just another booking. For Conor, this represents a legitimate stylistic puzzle he'd struggle to solve.
At the end of the day, first and foremost, by no means do we count out Conor McGregor because, I mean, my man's got, Conor's got real skills. He had real skills. Conor was who Conor was because he had real skills. He was able to talk the talk, but then get in there and back it up by walking the walk. So we can't just dismiss him completely. But
and I back it up.
We can see here that this stylistically, this doesn't look like a great matchup for someone like Conor McGregor. You're definitely at a big height disadvantage. You're definitely at a reach disadvantage. And it's not that you're just fighting a grappler or a guy that's just going to try to hold you and take you down. No, you're fighting a striker, a sharpshooter as well, that has stoppages with kicks, has stoppages with knees, has stoppages with straight shots. I mean, this guy can stop you because he is just that dangerous. And personally, if there was a guy that I would say, hey, I want to see get the, what do they say, the rub from Conor, the name, the notoriety from a...
As all this White House fight speculation reaches a fever pitch, Usman took time to spotlight Carlos Prates' incredible journey since his most recent loss. He gave props to how Prates has systematically improved his craft and bounced back with real authority, showing genuine growth as a fighter. Usman noted that if Prates managed to secure a bout with a global phenomenon like Conor McGregor, it would be completely justified from a competitive angle. You'd have someone performing at peak level taking on a worldwide celebrity. Meanwhile, Usman picked up on how dramatically the whole McGregor comeback conversation had transformed. Previous potential opponents like the much talked about Michael Chandler seemed to vanish almost instantly, with all attention now laser focused on Prates as the guy with legitimate ability to create chaos in the division.
Fight of that magnitude. Listen, we love Carlos Prates here, so why not Carlos Prates? Carlos Prates he's taking our advice. He didn't change too much. He went back to the lab. He was working after his loss, and he came back, and now he's shining, doing a great job. So, yes, if he's able to get that opportunity like that to face a guy like Conor McGregor, yay, so be it. But it's kind of crazy how these things has kind of moved on, because for the longest, he was Michael Chandler. And then now, all of a sudden, that's not even a thought anymore. And we're just trying to get Conor a fight with someone who they believe can get rid of him.
Man, this is it. Building on all this intense speculation swirling around the possible White House matchup, it's obvious that even active fighters are getting swept up in the electric atmosphere. Take Caio Borralho as a perfect example. He straight up confessed he's as clueless as everyone else, discovering the McGregor vs. Prates whispers online like the rest of the world. He then cracked up while roasting his buddy for keeping him out of the loop, dropping this gem with a huge smile. If this is real and you kept me in the dark, I'm gonna murder you. Borralho kept rolling, his enthusiasm impossible to miss, saying it's gonna be an absolutely insane fight, brother. I'm here for that. But he wasn't done yet. He hammered home that from a pure combat perspective, this potential showdown could legitimately rank among the most thrilling and completely unpredictable battles fans have seen in recent memory. The excitement is already off the charts.
I'm sure you've seen online that Carlos Prates could be fighting Conor McGregor.
Bro.
There's a lot of talk. Are you hearing, is there any truth, any traction to this? Do you guys feel like this is something that could happen?
Bro, to be honest with you, I don't have a clue about any of this. I promise you. I just saw today the poster, you know, and then I commented like, what? I sent right away message to Carlos. He didn't respond me yet. But I said like, what the fuck, man? Are you fucking fighting McGregor, brother? Bro, if this is true and you didn't tell me, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's what I told him, you know. So I'm in the same spot as you guys, you know. I hope with the bottom of my heart this fight is true and they can fight, you know, because it's gonna be a freaking good fight, brother. You know, it's gonna be so good. So I'm waiting.
Building on his obvious enthusiasm about the potential bout, Borrallo continued by stressing that the pure entertainment value of such an event would stretch way beyond what happens inside the cage itself. He smartly highlighted the elaborate marketing campaign, the heated press conferences, and even the victory parties as crucial pieces of the whole puzzle. At the same time, he honestly admitted that McGregor would definitely be facing an extremely difficult test against a bigger, more powerful, and genuinely dangerous striker like Prates. For Borrallo, it's that special combination of elite competition mixed with all the surrounding drama and pageantry that would make the event truly legendary. He's convinced it would be the type of historic fight that fans would be analyzing and celebrating for years to come, earning its spot in combat sports folklore.
Yeah, like, let's pretend in the imaginary world it is happening. Like, what would be the funnest part of that for you? Would it be like seeing them fight? Would it be Carlos and Conor at these press conferences and like their different personalities? Like, what would be
I think everything. I think everything. I'm willing to see Carlos doing a video and taking the proper 12 and drinking and said, this is not good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to have this kind of promotions to the fight. I think it's two big guys to the fans. I don't think it's a good fight for McGregor, you know, because both southpaws, Carlos were gonna kick him a lot in the calf, and is bigger, knockout power, and I don't think it's a good fight for McGregor. You know, even like I'm a big fan of him, a big fan of Conor and all that he did in the sport. And but I'm Carlos all day, and I'm excited to see everything about it: the fight, the promotion, the press conference,
and the celebration aspect. You know, Ben Askren, always stirring the pot, jumped right in with his own entertaining theories about this brewing situation. He jokingly floated the exciting prospect of watching Conor McGregor return to action, even mentioning a potential clash with Jorge Masvidal as genuinely compelling television. And honestly, who wouldn't be interested in that? Playing up the patriotic angle of the event, Askren laughingly proposed that America's 250th birthday definitely warranted some serious homegrown entertainment, cleverly pitching a spectacle where American athletes would battle their British rivals. It's an absolutely bonkers concept, designed as much for pure entertainment value as actual competition. He suggested that with the right matchmaking and proper showmanship, this fight card could easily become one of the most discussed events in combat sports history. Now, switching topics slightly, when breaking down the White House card possibilities, Askren also stressed the major role that negotiating power and personal pride play in crafting these massive profile fights. He shrewdly observed that even though countless big names are desperately campaigning for placement on such a prestigious card, that doesn't automatically give them control in contract talks. The UFC, wielding enormous influence, can easily shift to other skilled competitors across various weight classes if any individual's demands become unreasonable. Askren also posed a thought-provoking question. Would someone of McGregor's caliber actually accept a co-main event position if a younger, possibly less proven champion was getting top billing? This, he argued, perfectly illustrates that negotiations at this tier often require careful strategic thinking, mixed with substantial personal ego. In the end, he suggested that finding the exact right combination of star power and proper card positioning will be absolutely vital to creating a truly unforgettable and impactful show. Askren then pointed out an infrequently ignored but essential factor, the political dimension of this unique event. He noted that this isn't your standard neutral fight card. The venue itself, the White House, obviously carries major political significance, whether fans embrace it or try to ignore it. While that connection might generate incredible media buzz and viewership, it also realistically could drive some audiences away completely. Askren stressed that massive media attention doesn't automatically guarantee larger audiences or increased viewership numbers. He offered this reality check that worldwide headlines, while impressive, don't always convert to higher streaming numbers or improved pay-per-view revenue. He wrapped up by noting that promoters will need to perform an incredibly careful balancing act, skillfully managing both the spectacle and the political undertones to genuinely maximize both interest and long-term fan engagement.